Here I am. Hello, how's it going? Hey guys, it's your buddy Jake Dominguez back with another movie review. Now that I'm in frame, I'm here to talk about a South Korean film. That's right, a movie all the way from South Korea, a foreign film that actually came out last year, that is currently on Blu-ray to my knowledge, and I watched it on Netflix yesterday. I wasn't planning on doing a review for this film, but then I watched it. Yeah, and I want to talk about it because this film was amazing. Today I'm going to review the film Train to Busan. Let's talk about it. So, Train to Busan. This film tells the story about a man who's like a fund manager. I think that's what he is in the film. And he's just this giant businessman. He's working all the time. He's always focused on his work and getting money. Doesn't have the most, how do I say this? He's not the most selfless person in the world, obviously. All he thinks about is himself. He's pretty selfish. He's focused on his job, focused on making money. And he's actually divorced, and he has a daughter, a very cute little daughter, that he barely spends any time with. He barely talks to her. They barely have a relationship. And this little girl, his daughter, all she wants for her birthday is to go visit her mom in Busan. And she's just pestering him about it, and out of guilt, basically, he agrees to take her over. So they travel over, they get on a train, they travel over to that part of the country. There's just one problem. While they're going, the zombie apocalypse starts, and zombies start appearing everywhere, and an affected person gets on the train, and before anyone knows it, there are tons and tons and tons and tons of zombies on this train. And this man, his daughter, and a bunch of other people who are survivors have to survive from all the zombies on this train and try to figure out how to travel on this train to where they need to go, where they'll be safe. And it is intense, and it is crazy, and it is awesome. So first of all, one quick thing. I'm not even going to try to pronounce anyone's name in this review. The director, the cast, it's down there in the description below. Check it out. I'll put it all right there like I always do. Because I'm a dumb American filming a YouTube video on this camera right now, and I don't know how to pronounce all the words, I'm not even going to try. I tried, I mean, I looked them up, I done my best, but you know what? These people are so awesome and so talented, I'm not even going to misrespect them by, like, mispronouncing their names. So, warning, I'm not even going to try. It's down there in the description, but they're all immensely talented because this movie was freaking awesome. I watched it on Netflix yesterday. I saw some people recommend it on Twitter because it was just barely put on Netflix. I'd never even heard of it before. I never heard of this director before. Apparently, he worked on a few animated features before, which I'm now really interested in seeing. And I just watched it, just out of curiosity. I thought the plot itself sounded really interesting. I love zombie films. I love horror and suspense films. So I decided to give it a try. And this movie, man, this was an incredibly well-made movie. I mean, zombies are awesome. I love zombie movies and all that. We love, and all that. But you gotta say, zombie films aren't in itself a cliche. We've seen so many of them from George Romero onward. There's not really a lot of original things you can do with the zombie genre anymore. Look at The Walking Dead. I haven't watched the last few seasons, but I know a lot of people have complained about the last few seasons and hated on it because of the repetitive nature of the show. They go to this one place, then zombies come, and that sort of thing. There's not a lot you can do. We've seen a lot of zombie films, a lot of great ones, like Shaun of the Dead and 28 Days Later and all this stuff. But we don't get a lot of originality in this genre just based on it. I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse. What more can you do? Train to Busan takes some of these tropes that we're familiar with and puts them in a very original package. It's basically Die Hard in a train with zombies. Because if you want to make everything better, you just add zombies to it, right? That's the key to success. No. And it was done incredibly well. The action and dramatic horror scenes in this film are incredibly intense and suspenseful. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. It was awesome. I was so into these characters. I wanted to see them survive, and it's done incredibly well. This director is a master of suspense. It's incredibly suspenseful, but it's also really exciting and really fun. This is a super entertaining movie. I had an absolute blast watching it. It was, even though it was pretty scary and pretty frightening, don't get me wrong, this is, at the end of the day, like, I can be happy to sit down, grab some popcorn and watch it. At the end of the day, it's a very entertaining, fun kind of movie. And it's just so extremely well done. I was really impressed. All the acting in this film is great as well. Yeah, all the action and zombie scenes are great, but the cast is fantastic. Train to Busan has a heart, and it has brains as well. Get it? Because it's a zombie and they get brains, it has brains. Yeah. What? Nothing? Nothing? You're not going to give me a sympathy laugh? Okay, whatever. I'm moving on. But you guys see what I mean. It is incredibly well done. The script, that is. This script has actual characters. The people in this movie aren't just fodder to be eaten by zombies. They're not just pointless characters that are just surrounded by the monsters. If you saw my review of Kong Skull Island, you heard me talk about how everything with King Kong was great, but these humans are nobodies. The actual characters in the film are pointless and bland as all out. That's going to be more of the opposite here. These are characters I cared about, that were well written, the acting was really good, and I just really wanted them to survive. It wasn't just that I was scared because the zombies are coming and they're scary. I cared about these characters. I wanted them to live. I wanted them to get out of this situation. And the characters in this film, I wanted them to survive. I cared about them the whole time, and that's awesome. That's incredibly well done. And there is some great screenwriting in this film. Now, let's talk about the zombies themselves. These zombies are pretty darn ferocious. We've seen a lot of zombies in movies. The zombies in this film are incredibly well done. They're basically acting like they are having a seizure all the time, if that makes sense. Like, when you first see them, I think even a character says something like that, like, "Are you having a seizure?" Like, they think they're having a seizure and they call a doctor, but the way that their bodies move and stuff like that, like, I'm not sure quite how they did that, if they just got some contortionists to come and act in the movie as zombies, I don't know. But all the makeup and stuff is really good. They are ferocious. These are running zombies that are just growling and are super scary the whole time. Kind of like Dawn of the Dead, like the Zack Snyder version, or 28 Days Later. They're those kind of zombies. And it is so incredibly cool. I mean, these guys are running and they're jumping out of nowhere. They had rules to the zombies, like how they worked, like imaginary rules, and they never broke away from them. They were awesome. I loved them. They are fast and ferocious. This is just an incredibly entertaining movie, and I had such a great time watching it. As terms of flaws in the film, like I said, this is an incredibly original film. It takes, let me reward that, it takes these familiar tropes we know in the zombie genre and puts them in an incredibly original package and an extremely powerful and emotional package because the script is so good. Having said that, there are some things in this film that we have kind of seen before. Like, I mentioned 28 Days Later earlier, and, you know, one thing that this movie kind of has elements of is World War Z. Remember that Brad Pitt movie based on the iconic book? Like, it's much better than that film, and I could even argue that in a way Train to Busan is kind of what World War Z wanted to be, but couldn't quite get there, even though I liked that film overall. But anyway, you can see elements of that film in Train to Busan. Like, we've seen some of these elements in other films before, and even though everything is done very originally, there are still a few tropes and stuff like that that does remind you of similar things we've seen in the past. Also, during, like, the second act, the beginning of the second act, there is a little bit of a lull there. But it didn't bother me too much because the whole film is nonstop. It is a nonstop thrill ride, and maybe that lull isn't so much a lull as much as, like, the calm before the storm, maybe, and what a storm it is. So maybe watching it again, the lull wouldn't bother me as much, but there's a little bit there. Maybe a 10-15 minute lull, but other than that, I had a great time with Train to Busan. I want to see this director's other films. He directed a few animated films before this. Apparently, he made an animated prequel, like, short film, and kind of promotion of this film. So I definitely want to check that out. But overall, it's an incredibly entertaining movie. It's so fun just watching a gem. Like, just a little movie, Not that it's a little movie, it was extremely popular in Korea where it came out. But you know what I mean, like, I've never heard of it. I sat down doing nothing. I watched it and I loved it. And above all, what I loved most about this movie is its main theme. The main theme and main moral of this movie is just helping others. That's a constant theme of helping others before helping yourself, of selflessness versus selfishness. And all these giant disasters and terrorist attacks or whatever in the world, what always makes them, they're always horrifying, they're always terrible. And obviously they're doing a bit of an allegory with the zombie apocalypse in this film. But it's amazing when you see the way people react to these attacks, the way people help each other, the way people risk their lives to go save other people, and that sort of thing. And that's a recurring theme in Train to Busan. The people that help others, like what keeps an eye out for the other person, are the ones that survive. It's the selfish ones, the ones that are only looking out for themselves, that don't make it. That's a recurring theme. It's about not just caring about yourself, but caring for others and helping others in like really awful situations, whether it be just a disaster, a bad time in one's life, just a complete accident, some drama in your family or at work, or the zombie apocalypse. And I thought that was really powerful. So I'm going to give Train to Busan an A-, solid A-. It's on Netflix right now. I definitely would recommend checking it out. I know it's on Blu-ray or on DVD. I'm not completely remember all the details about that, but you can find it. I would definitely recommend it. I had a great time with this movie. Well, guys, that's my thoughts on Train to Busan. What did you think of this film, if you've seen it? And what is your favorite zombie movie or zombie TV show or cartoon? What's your favorite zombie film? Mine is probably the original Night of the Living Dead by George Romero. Just the classic black and white film. Love it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching this channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Never forget, and I really do mean this, I am your friend. I hope you guys know that. I'm your friend. I'm always going to be there for you. Never forget that. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you next time.